Hey, what's going on? If you've dropped the ball in the last 6 months, month, day, anything in between that when it comes to a sale and lost it, you are going to wish that you uncovered this video months ago, all right? We're gonna drop 6 stupid, simple, embarrassingly easy sales tips, tricks, and tactics for you to go ahead and put inside of your business starting right now, all right? You can go ahead and start mastering these ASAP. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I could go ahead and bore you with a bunch of this, that, and the other stuff. All those prerequisites maybe that you need to start leveraging these sales skills. I want to go ahead and share with you these 6 specific ones. I want to go ahead and just make this straight to the point for you. So if you don't mind, let's skip the fluff and get right to it. Number 1, right? People are too focused when it comes down to fake rapport when they need to focus on true rapport. What do I mean, right? What do you mean, Justice? Fake rapport, how old school does this sound to you? And let me know if you can relate to this. A lot of the times, when you get a sales coach, sales mentor, sales guru showing you something, they're saying, at the start of the call, at the start of the sales conversation, just go ahead and build up some rapport, right? Go ahead and ask them where they live. Go ahead and crack a joke. Go ahead and show them that you're somebody who's their buddy. You're somebody who you can go outside and you can have a drink with them on a summer day, right? It's a beautiful day out here in Massachusetts today, right? So just go ahead and lighten the mood a little bit, right? Create that scenery that's gonna set them up for you to knock it out the park later, right? And so while I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that that's not a terrible thing to do at the start of a call or a conversation, I personally don't believe it's necessary at all, right? But either way, that is not true rapport, right? So out the gates, I want you to start flipping the script on what you define as rapport by these 3 things, right? Number 1, you gotta have that authority that is truly gonna show that you're sharp as a tack, right? Number 2, that you're enthusiastic. And 3, that you're an expert, right? These 3 things are what really build true rapport. And the way that you're gonna go about doing that does not just count at the very start of the call, right? The way that you're gonna go ahead and show off this true rapport comes right back to you truly understanding how to show this person how you are someone who can help them, how you are someone who can get them to where they wanna be. Right now, they're in position A, they're trying to be in position B. Can you fit that gap in between? If you prove to them with your expertise and how you show up during this conversation, it's going to be night and day compared to, oh yeah, I can help you do this, but how's it going today? How's the weather out there, right? Forget all that nonsense, get right to it. Number 2, ignoring and not resonating. This is one that I see so often. Honestly, I see it a lot when it comes even down to some of my students there, especially earlier on when they start working with us. They'll go ahead and they'll be getting into sales conversations, right? Not even on the phone, not in Messenger. Technically it could be an either or, but even if it's their early stages and they've never even gotten a sales call or anything. They're saying, they're getting into a conversation and someone's, they're going back and forth a little bit. Then they ask someone a question. They give a really well thought out answer, right? Really well, once again, showing they're qualified, showing their care, showing they're listening to what they're saying, and they're actually seeing that they potentially get some value out of you. And then you go ahead and you hear that answer, and then you just go ahead and boom, write down your script onto the next one, right? Next question, next question. When you do this, it's really, for one, it's not showing that you're a great listener. And at the end of the day, one of those ways that you're gonna show that true expertise is by showing that you're actually listening by asking skilled questions, asking piercing questions, right? That's a whole nother topic right here. But in reality, that is a major piece where you really wanna open the prospect's eyes and show that you're truly listening at a different level. Because by you just going ahead and kind of just going down your script, you may be asking good questions, but you're not taking that time to really wow them, right? Potentially go ahead and just drop that extra bit of love and care, extra bit of little TLC here that can really shift yourself from being someone who's just a sales guy trying to go ahead and get them into something to being somebody who's just wow, wait a second here. I think I might be talking to a serious pro. I've been talking to 10 other people today. No one's really kind of giving me this type of energy back, right? And that's all it takes is something little like that to separate you from the crowd on that side there. Number 3, not leveraging implications over bragging. All right, this is something where I see it so much, especially I've even seen honestly on some people like our sales team, or when they're early on. I like to think it's no one as they've kind of grown on, but early on, well, they'll say they're trying to hype me up as I'm the quote unquote the guru, the expert, quote unquote. I hate that word, right? But either way, right, trying to hype me up, make me look good, and they're like, oh yeah, Justice is amazing. He's awesome. You definitely need to talk to him. He's gonna be the guy for you. Just trust me. I'll just try, right? Whereas that is coming off as bragging at that part of the conversation. I want you to think, and once again, I'm doing this in a bit of a dramatic way, but it's because this is truly what happens all of the time, right? Whether or not you feel like you're going into that extreme, you're still probably doing it where you're oh yeah, I can definitely help you. I've got plaques on plaques. I made $1 million last year. You know, it's nothing, right? I got you, right? So you can take that approach, or let's just say the $1 million approach, right? I could take that approach like I just went right there. Or you take something where you show an implication that shows that you potentially hit $1 million without saying that you've hit $1 million, right? So think about taking that approach and that angle, because it's gonna come off far less braggy, right? And when you come off so braggy, it comes off super salesy, it comes off super attached to the sale there, right? So instead, you can go ahead and say something like, last year alone, we actually helped 50 coaches inside of our niche really kind of help get past that exact same hurdle you're trying to do right now. And I honestly think that if we go ahead and plug you into what we did with James and Sarah over there, it's gonna truly transform what's going on in your situation right there, just based off of what I heard, but I'm happy to dive a little bit deeper, right? So I didn't say anything about what I've done. It's like, technically you could say that I'm bragging a little bit about helping 50 other people, but I'm bringing context to it, right? I'm implying that they have had the same struggle as these 50 other people have. So now it comes off a lot more like, hey, this is just a case study I'm trying to present to you here, instead of, hey, I'm the man, take my word for it, I made $1 million, right? So just think about the differences, and that can be so huge for you as well, because the other side is just burning a bridge without even trying. I'm telling you, don't take these lightly, all right? We're only halfway through it. And by the way, hit that subscribe button if you've gotten some value already. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning for us. Let's keep it rocking. Number 4, too much coaching on sales calls. This is one that, if I'm being honest, back when I was getting started, it was a tough one to really overcome. But so many people, especially students and people kind of really just starting off and really desperate, I don't use that word lightly there, desperate and too attached to the sale. Usually the people who are coaching too much on sales calls, that is the main reason they're doing it. They're really trying to prove that they are the authority figure, trying to prove that they know it all, trying to really help themselves out. And I think that a big, really easy way to combat that is just by understanding the right call structure. In reality, when you're going ahead and giving too much value, too much coaching in the front end of the call, you're really setting yourself up for failure, because now in the back end, you've already let out everything. You've already been really prescribing them without diagnosing them enough from the beginning. And now at the end, you're kind of like, well, I already gave you kind of what I thought, and so here's just my product. I don't really know. Forget how it actually relates to you, because I already told you all the good stuff, right? And that's a really big thing as well. And really just when you have that structure dialed in, it allows you to kind of keep on that straight line there. We just brought a new member of our sales team about 2 weeks ago, and really he was going about the structure, and it was really all over the place, to the point where really was doing good diagnosing for like 3-4 minutes. Then before you know it, there's like a 3 to 5 minute block of him just giving a ton of value, then goes back to going ahead and offering, going back to questioning again. It's like you gotta really have a strong structure that allows you to really predictably know when you can go into that coaching mode, because it makes it that much easier knowing that there will be a time, right? For those people out there right now watching this, like, you've had that feeling, and if you're not sure if this is you or not, go back and listen to one of your call recordings and see if you're just doing a lot of the talking in the beginning. Because in the beginning of the call, if you're talking, not the beginning of the call, but first 50 to 75% of the call, if you're talking just as much as they are, you're talking too much. And if you're even talking like close to as much as they are, you're talking too much yet again, right? So really pull back and dial in that structure. That was really, and once again, even with the sales guy, our guy on their team there, once I was able to really just understanding that structure, pass that along, and really paint that clear picture, it makes it so much easier, because you now know when you can step in and provide that next level of value, right? Instead of just out the gates, kind of doing it like out the blue randomly, right? Because now it's like there's no plan to it, and now you're just setting yourself up for failure down the line when that's not what you're trying to do in the beginning. So really just painting that clear picture out the gates is gonna be huge for you on that end. And then even at the same time, even to elaborate on the story with the sales team member as well, he was getting to the point where, once again, diagnosing, giving too much value, diagnosing, and then before you know it, he's going ahead and trying to book a call with the closer. And now all of a sudden, ask the question, and then before you know it, he's asking another question about business, like back to diagnosing. It's like, really get yourself a clear structure to make your life so much easier too. Number 5, this is one where in reality, I remember somebody told me when I first started diving into this stuff, how much tonality and really just the way that you're going about those dramatic pauses, right? Those dramatic pauses there. That in combination with tonality is such a powerful thing. And for me, I didn't realize, the person that said that, if you can just master these 2 things, you're gonna see your sales start to skyrocket there. And it was one of those things where I didn't realize it But before you know it, you look back, it's like I had my first 1K month when I was first starting out, then like 2 months later I had my first 15K month. And it's like you feel, but I heard a lot of no's in between, but I was sharpening that steel, right? So getting really good at tonality, right? Knowing when to kind of lower your voice, knowing when to ask a hi, when you're really trying to get someone with a little micro agreements. I can go into nuances there, that's a whole nother topic too. And then adding those dramatic pauses. And I say dramatic pauses, even more so dramatic pauses, or even like dramatic like stutters in a way if you, and maybe dramatic's not the word on the stutter side, but even, just like, all right, so when you mentioned this before, I understand that it made you understand that way, but how is that gonna attract you over there, right? It's the whole combination of the tonality, the pauses. It makes you also come off like you're not super scripted, right? Which is such a powerful piece as well. And right here on these, I'm not scripted at all, so I can easily go ahead and just kind of loosely go on that end. So just having that, especially when you're on a sales call situation, oh, it's gonna be night and day for you on that side, I promise you. The last one, this last one, number 6 here, it's a funny one because of how much it doesn't matter, and I'm gonna tell you what really does matter behind it, right? What doesn't matter so much is the unique mechanism, right? The unique mechanism, and a lot of times, AKA the fancy names we want to give our unique mechanism. For those of you who aren't aware of what a unique mechanism is, that's just more so your way of doing things, right? Maybe your unique mechanism is that you use Pinterest in order to create a large fan base and turn them into buyers down the line, right? I'm just throwing stuff out here, right? At the end of the day, having a fancy name is not really going to be the thing that's going to hook them in. Having this unique mechanism, you're not alone. People have unique mechanisms all the time, right? They have their way of doing things. There's billions, it feels like. There's only millions, I'm sure, but there's so many there. So what can you do to combat this on your side? Not leaning so much on the fancy name of the unique mechanism, but leaning more so on the explanation of it. Once you can really wrap your mind around the name of it, doesn't matter. The name of it, and once again, I'm being a bit blunt here, the name of it can help, but at the end of the day, the name is not what's going to get them to buy. It's how you explain what you do, right? I was talking to, honestly, one of the coaches in my program there. He's selling one of his own programs on the side too. We're all for it here, right? But in reality, he was talking about, trying to improve his offer. How can I improve my offer, And I said, you've got a validated offer. You've already been helping people in the marketplace. I'm not so worried about your offer. I'm worried about, because right now he was really doing well with his offline sales, but trying to get more in the online side. And I said, for you right now, you've been fortunate where you haven't had to do much selling, and you just kind of had deals falling in your lap because you do such a good job at what you do. Online, you're gonna be dealing with a much colder audience. So it's not the fact that you need a better offer. The offer works. You need to work on how you're pitching the offer. And even if I was getting more specific on that, how you're explaining how your offer can help that prospect. Once you can understand the difference between that and just, because so many people, they'll go ahead and they'll build out a course for like 6 months and all these things there, when in reality, that's not what needs to be done most of the time. But most of the time what has to happen is someone just needs to truly understand how you can help them. And so before you make that course, maybe draw up something that can visually show them how you can help them. Give them that step-by-step that makes it extremely clear that you're the one to help solve their issues, that you're the one to help get them from a place of pain to a place of pleasure. All right, that's it for this one here today. Hopefully you got a ton of value out of these 6 simple tricks and tips and tactics that I want you to be implementing to your sales right now today, because tomorrow it can completely transform for you, right? So if you got some value, definitely make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button down below to make sure you tune into all the future videos, all our past videos, all that goodness there as well too. Another really good one for you to check out is actually our sales units framework. That's another really good one that kind of goes hand in hand with this here as well. So if you want to, feel free to go ahead and check out that video above. And as always, make sure to jump into our free Facebook group over there on Facebook, Original Chapters Marketing, where we are dropping just value on a daily basis there as well too. So appreciate you sticking through all this, and as always, you are designed to become who you choose to be. All right, we'll see you in the next one.